good young horses, good trainer Philip Hobbs. 50s from 33s, so that reflects the price somewhat. Back off Danjing because they were put on at Cheltenham, thought it would improve him.
I know the history of this horse. I was at Newmarket when Danjing was claimed out of Paul Cole's stable because Simon Sherwood is a mate of Paul Cole. Richard Green, who's got many horses, has bought this horse, and it's done very, very well. But I know Simon was saving the blinkers for the Triumph Hurdle, but now he's taken the blinkers off. Obviously didn't work at Cheltenham that day. 16 to 1 from 14 to 1.
So 5 is Flowback, Jerry Enright's horse, but he's got to find a fair bit on his form. He's by Royal Academy. He's 101 from 66 to 1. John Kavanagh will enjoy his ride here, but I very much doubt whether we'll see a 101 winner in this. Well, one that we haven't seen, well, we'll catch up on them. But 11 to 4, Debutante Days. Edelwies to Moulin 4s. 6s on the drift, Mistinguett. Kris is 6s. 13 to 2, Hatta Breeze. Zabadi 8s. The same price, Marchant, Ming, and that's been back. 2 points, Marchant, Ming, a horse that we haven't seen. He'll be with Mark Dwyer on board, but he's only right on the tapes there. 1 from the right as we look at it, but Jerry Scott about to get them off.
Before they go, I think Marchant Ming, I've heard, is a big tip for that horse today. 1 on the heavy ground, faster ground today, see how he handles it.
Come on, so there's a filly here, this was propping.
And they're running. And Danjing it is nearest to us. And on the far side, our Kris. Our Kris, the leader, from Danjing in the early stages, Marchant Ming, and then comes Mistinguett as they race towards the first flight. Long run to it, our Kris from Danjing, Marchant Ming and Mistinguett. And over on the far side, No Pattern. Just in behind them, Amlar, Debutante Days. At the second, our Kris, Danjing, Marchant Ming, Mistinguett. No Pattern on the far side. Hatta Breeze up with the pace. Edelwies du Moulin over on the far rail, about 9th at the moment. Over the third, our Kris and Danjing from Marchant Ming and No Pattern, and then Amlar and Mistinguett and Hatta Breeze, then Debutante Days, then Zabadi, then Edelwies du Moulin, and the back marker is Flowback. But still, our Kris making it from Danjing on the outside. Marchant Ming comes next, and then Mistinguett. Then on the inside, No Pattern. On the outside is Hatta Breeze. Amlar on the inside then. Then comes Zabadi. Debutante Days, and behind them Edelwies du Moulin. And still the back marker is Flowback, and still up front is the Million in Mind partnership horse. And we lost Edelwies du Moulin on the flat there. Edelwies du Moulin went on the flat. And still up front at the 5th. Our Kris disputing it from Danjing. Marchant Ming on the inside. Debutante Days making ground towards the outside. Mistinguett still well in touch too. This is the last over on the far side. Our Kris and Danjing, these two from Marchant Ming, Mistinguett. And on the far side, Debutante Days. Looking to the left now, you'll see Debutante Days with the sheepskin noseband, but still up front, it's our Kris and Danjing, then Mistinguett, then Marchant Ming. Then comes Debutante Days towards the outside with Hatta Breeze next. Still our Kris and Mick Fitzgerald from Danjing. They've got 3 left to jump. Mistinguett, Marchant Ming, Debutante Days being pushed along, and on the near side Amlar beginning to get into it too. racing towards the third last flight now in this Glenlivet anniversary 4-year-old novices hurdle, and still our Kris is the million in mine colours from Danjing and Mistinguett. Our Kris landed in the lead from Danjing, Mistinguett, and over on the far side Marchant, Ming. Zabadi coming with a good run too, with his white face towards the left of the picture, but it was our Kris still there from Danjing, and Zabadi coming there still towards the near side. Under pressure is our Kris, and Zabadi motoring now and coming down to the final flight. Zabadi's going to jump it in the lead, and it puts in a mighty leap at that. Zabadi the leader from our Kris and Danjing as they race into the closing stages. It's Zabadi under Tony McCoy, who's been second 3 times this afternoon, making no mistake this time, striding up towards the line to win this. Oh, very comfortably indeed on Zabadi. Zabadi the winner with our Kris second and third, Danjing, and fourth was Mistinguett, and very disappointing was Debutante, who actually finished last of the 11 to complete, with Edelwies du Moulin, a faller on the flat under Paul Carberry over on the far side. But this is the winner, number 9, Zabadi, owned by Lady Harris, trained by David Nicholson, and written by Deep Brambles Martel Grand National jockey Tony McCoy. Second was number 8, our Kris, owned by the Million in Mind Partnership, Section 5, trained by Nicky Henderson and ridden by Mick Fitzgerald. And third was number 3, Danjing, owned by Richard Green Fine Paintings, trained by Simon Sherwood and ridden by Graham Bradley, with fourth, number 12, Mistinguett. And there is Edelwies du Moulin, who slipped up on the flat and appears to be unhurt. So Tony McCoy finally on a winner this afternoon, the season's leading rider on an 8-to-1 winner. In fact, his 133rd winner of the season. Zabadi by Shahrastani out of Zerzaya, by Beldale Flutter. Winner of 3 of his 6 races now, the official margin 6 lengths and 1 length, and a 65th winner of the season for his trainer, David Nicholson. Zabadi returning after a really dramatic finish at the end of this Glenlivet anniversary hurdle, and a sensational leap at the final flight. Now here goes Edelwies du Moulin, just rounding this turn here, flying 10th at the time. Could have been a very nasty fall, but it's very difficult to account for why he should have lost his footing there, as this winner returns to the circle where Tony McCoy will be hoping to be at the end of the Martel National on Saturday. He rides Deep Bramble, and his nearest victim here, Mick Fitzgerald, is on the current favourite, Rough Quest. Mistinguett is just, you saw a moment ago behind him, written by Carl Llewellyn, and he, of course, will be on Party Politics on Saturday. There he is in the background. And Paul Carberry was able to walk into the ambulance, so get a lift back, so hopefully he is unscathed after that fall on the level, which can be very nasty. The favourite backers still not on the best of terms with themselves. The starting prices as follows.
And Zabadi the winner at 8-to-1. Second our Kris 13-2, and third Danjing at 16-1. And the totes there win £11.40, places £2.70, £1.70, £4. The dual forecast paid £28.30, and the straight forecast £54.83.
Yes, what a lovely race Tony McCoy's ridden here. I know David Nicholson will be delighted because he's had a winner, but he'll also be delighted in the way that Tony has ridden this race. He loves his jockeys to ride a race. We were talking about them kicking early in the straight, and there you see our Kris in front, Danjig chasing along with Brad, but there, number 9 in the yellow is Tony McCoy's just getting a lovely pull, as they call it, off those horses, giving himself plenty of room, come to the second last and allowed the horse to use his finishing speed.
An incredible jumper. You know, all these, you've got to remember, are flat-bred horses, but he had ridden a good race, of course he had. He produced it, and now he's got the comfort of sitting. He's gone there and he's done it, and he's just going to save that bit more. But just watch this horse when he goes to the last. He really picks up. I mean, the bravery here as he goes, that's terrific jump.
Yes, really is. And what's also interesting is that we filmed this horse schooling early in the season. It was shown at BBC at Ascot, and he didn't jump that well that time. And to start with, he wasn't running very well over hurdles, but now he's really getting his jumping together and really going well.
And the difference in the form from the Triumph Hurdle, where stablemate Hatta, who's the left of the picture, just going out, finished in front of this one, an easier track. Now this horse still came there with a chance at Cheltenham, then faded up the hill. So it's the easier course for me and this ground.
Yes, he's been doing his winning on the